So now I'm going to go to the next one, retool. Now, when I say retool, this is really going to be scary to some of you. This is really going to be scary to a lot of you, what I'm about to say. But I want you to be okay with this, because you're going to have to be okay with this. And I'd rather you learn it now, hear it now from me, than it sneak up on you and you be scrambling at that point. So when I use the word retool, I'm talking about you need to re-engage in some education and learning and get yourself some new skills. You need to get yourself some professional development. And when I mean new skills, I mean technical skills. Let me tell you why this is important. Our economy is going to fundamentally shift forever because of COVID-19. There's a lot of employers who are in the middle of this crisis who are now doing the analysis saying that we don't need all the employees that we had before the crisis, because we see that we can still operate our business with less employees working. So we're not going to bring these employees back. So they've learned how to work remotely and become more automated and to find a way to not need human bodies like they had before. There are some companies who are using the fact that we're in the middle of a crisis to lay off people that they've been wanting to get rid of for years, and they just couldn't find a way to do it. But now the crisis has given them an open door, a back door, to just lay people off and not bring them back. This crisis has given some employers the opportunity to say, you know what, we're going to change our entire business, and we're just going to go in a different direction. And that direction ain't going to involve you. And that's going to be painful if you realize, if you're at home now on furlough or layoff or reduced time, and you're thinking, oh, this is just temporary until the crisis is over, then my company is going to bring me back to work. No, they're not. No, they're not. So when that happens, the question is, what are you going to do next? What skills do you have? What do you do? How are you prepared to be a part of the workforce of the future rather than the workforce of the past? Because the past was 3 weeks ago before COVID-19. The future is now, and the future will be when this crisis is over. So what are you doing to retool yourself? So let me give you an example of what I mean retool. I'm going to name to you a couple of companies who recognize that their workforce was unequipped to do their business. 3 companies. The first is Amazon. Here's what you don't know. Amazon pledged to spend $700 million on 100,000 of their workers, retooling them, retraining them, giving them new tools and skill sets, because they believe that they didn't have the skill sets that will take their business into the future. So if you do the math, $700 million divided by 100,000 workers, that's about $7,000 per employee. That Amazon is investing $7,000 into their employees to give them new skills, to retool them up. Now, I bet most of us have never invested $7,000 in ourselves other than buying a new car or buying something that we don't really need. But when I'm talking about investing in yourself, I'm talking about taking classes. Would you be willing to spend $7,000 to take a class from Duke University online, or Harvard Medical School online, or any of these major universities that are now offering online courses and certificate programs? Would you be willing to invest $7,000 in yourself? Most of us say no. No, I can't afford that. Well, I'm going to tell you right now, you cannot not afford that. Another company is Walmart. Walmart recognized that their employees ain't where they need them to be, and they pledged they were going to spend $2 billion on retraining their workforce, teaching their workforce how to understand their business, the supply chain, how they operate. These things are really important for you to understand that these companies are investing in somebody. But now, because of COVID-19, they might decide, you know what, we don't have to invest in 100,000. We just going to invest in 50,000 now because we see that we can get by without them. Don't let that happen to you. You got to retool. You got to prepare yourself to retool. Third company, I don't even remember what third company was. I think it was another tech company, but they made a decision that they were going to invest in retraining their workforce because they don't have enough basic data analysts, but they got too many warehouse workers. So their goal was to take a basic warehouse worker who has a certain set of skills that might be limited, but they're going to invest them into becoming a basic data analyst because data is king in all of their businesses. So the question is, how are you preparing to retool? What classes are you taking? What training and development have you focused yourself on right now? What skill are you learning that you're going to be able to use to be marketable when this is over? Whether you look for another job, you got to have some new skills. So while you got this time at home, while you got the internet in front of you, YouTube University, Udacity, Masterclass, there's so many things that you can learn right at home to give yourself a skill that will add value to your profile when you get back into this new economy and start looking for the next thing. So you got to retool. I want everybody to understand that you got to retool.